The Egyptians, in agreement with their climate, which is unlike any other, and with the river, which shows a nature different from all other rivers, established for themselves manners and customs in a way opposite to other men in almost all matters. For among them the women frequent the market and carry on trade, while the men remain at home and weave. And whereas others weave upwards, the Egyptians push it downwards. The men carry their burdens upon their heads, and the women upon their shoulders. The women make water standing up, and the men crouching down. They ease themselves in their houses, and they do not eat without in the streets, alleging as reason for this that it is right to do secretly in the things that are unseemly, though necessary, but those which are not unseemly in public. No woman is a minister either of male or female divinity, but men of all, both male and female, to support their parents. The sons are in no way compelled, if they do not desire to do so, but the daughters are forced to do so. The priests of the gods in other lands wear long hair, but in Egypt they shave their heads. Among other men the custom is that in mourning those whom the matter concerns most nearly have their hair cut short, but the Egyptians, when death occurs, let their hair grow long, both that on the head and on the chin, having before been close shaven. Other men have their daily living separated from beasts, but the Egyptians have theirs together with beasts. Other men live on wheat and barley, but to any one of the Egyptians who makes his living on these it is a great reproach. They make their bread of maize. They knead dough with their feet and clay with their hands, with which also they gather up dung. And whereas other men, except such as have learnt otherwise from the Egyptians, as to garments, the men wear two each, and the woman but one. And whereas others make fast the rings and ropes of sails outside the ship, the Egyptians do this inside. Finally, in the writing of characters and reckoning with pebbles, while the Hellenes carry the hand from the left to the right, the Egyptians do this from the right to the left, and doing so, they say that they do it themselves rightwise and the Hellenes leftwise. And they use two kinds of characters for writing, of which the one kind is called sacred and the other common. They are religious excessively beyond all other men, and with regard to this, they have customs as follows. They drink from cups of bronze, and rinse them out every day. And not some only do this, but all. They wear garments of linen, always newly washed. And this they make a special point of practice. They circumcise themselves for the sake of cleanliness, preferring to be clean rather than comely. The priests shave themselves all over their body every other day, so that no lice or any other foul thing may come to be upon them when they minister to the gods. And the priests wear garments of linen only, and sandals of papyrus, and any other garment they may not take, nor other sandals. These wash themselves in cold water twice in the day and twice again in the night, and other religious services they perform, one may almost say, of infinite number. They enjoy also good things, not a few, for they do not consume or spend anything of their own substance, but there is sacred bread baked for them, and they have each great quantity of flesh of oxen and geese coming into them each day, and also wine of grapes is given to them, but it is not permitted to them to taste of fish. Beans, moreover, the Egyptians do not at all sow in their land, and those which grow they neither eat raw nor boil for food. Nay, the priests do not endure even to look upon them, thinking this to be an unclean kind of pulse. And there is not one priest only of each of the gods, but many, and of them one is chief priest, and whenever a priest dies, his son is appointed to his place. Moreover, the naming of almost all the gods has come to Hellas from Egypt, for that it has come from the barbarians I find by inquiry is true, and I am of opinion that most probably it has come from Egypt, because, except in the case of Poseidon, in accordance with that which I have said before, and also of Hera and Hestia and Themis, and the Charites and the Nereids, the Egyptians have had the names of all other gods in their country for all time. What I say here is that which the Egyptians think themselves. The Egyptians were the first who made it a point of religion not to lie with women in temples, nor to enter into temples after going away from women without first bathing. For almost all other men except the Egyptians and the Hellenes lie with women in temples and enter into a temple after going away from women without bathing, since they hold that there is no difference in this respect between men and beasts. For they say they see beasts and the various kinds of birds coupling together both in the temples and in the sacred enclosures of the gods. If then this were not pleasing to the god, the beasts would not do so.